Welcome to a retro achievements guide for the Bullseye's achievements in Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004 on the PlayStation 2. Being able to hit the ball dead straight is vital, so make sure you practice getting your swing consistent before attempting these achievements. We will only be using full club swings in this video. Okay, let's get into it. An easy one to start with, we just need a single button press for power and the ball will land perfectly. A nice full swing of the club combined with some medium backspin on the ball to drag it into the middle of the target. A couple of taps of power is all you need here, the ball will naturally roll back onto the bullseye. Drop down to the lob wedge on this target, make sure you reach full power, and add in some medium backspin to get the ball in the right spot. A target that benefits from being able to hit the ball dead straight. You may need some tiny spin to correct any ball flight variation from your swing. I've tried to use many variations of a punch shot with heavy backspin, but have never consistently hit the bullseye due to the slope of the ground. All I can say for this target is to give it your best go.
Nice one. Move to the next target.
You will need to go with full backspin on this shot in order to drag the ball back into the center of the target. Club down to 8 iron, and try to hit the ball dead straight as it should drop straight into the middle. If the shot looks inaccurate, spin it away from the target to get another attempt. Give this shot 3 taps of power to get the right distance, and then be ready to add some slight spin if you need to do any corrections to the line of the ball. The importance of hitting the ball straight is shown here. Club down to 5 iron, but be ready to spin the ball away from the target if you don't hit it well. You will see that I take a couple of goes to get the ball not to hit the rock outcropping. This is quite a tough target due to the nature of the ground. Go with 3 taps of power and be ready to add some spin to correct the line of the ball depending on where it will land. Easy to miss this target if you're slightly wayward with your swing. We're going to start by dropping down 2 clubs here, and then maximizing our shot power. As long as you miss the light pillar on the left, the ball should drop perfectly onto the bullseye. Going with the G wedge, all we need is some small forward spin to counteract the natural backspin of the ball when it lands. This is an easy target to consistently hit. We need a 7 iron punch shot on this target due to the overhanging platform. If you're quick, you can add enough backspin to stop the ball in the perfect spot. Club down to the pitching wedge. And add 2 taps of power here to get the right distance. A little forward spin on the ball will ensure it doesn't roll off the bullseye. Going with the pitching wedge again, but we're going to add 3 taps of power this time along with any slight ball spin that is needed. An easy shot with the 8 iron if you can hit it straight, a tiny bit of backspin is useful just to make sure the ball stays where it lands. Another 8 iron shot with 1 tap of power. You can add some small forward spin, but be careful as it is easy to overshoot this target if you give it too much. Unfortunately, I miss this target because I add slightly too much backspin on the shot. A straight shot with the 5-iron with some very slight backspin is all you need to make this one.
Nice one. Move to the next target.
Go down to the 5-iron club and give it 3 taps of power for a bit of extra distance. Not a particularly hard target to hit, but you might need some small ball spin if you're offline.
Bullseye.
Hitting the ball straight is getting increasingly more important as the targets get further away. Use the 4-iron with 3 taps of power, but be ready to add some side and forward spin if you need it.
Bullseye.
This is the first time you need to club up instead of clubbing down. Go for the 2-iron due to the raised height of the platform, but be ready to add maximum backspin in order to stop the ball in time. Unfortunately, I miss getting a bullseye here by a whisker.
4 targets left.
With the pillar in the way, you will need to aim slightly to the right of the target, and then attempt to spin the ball back to the left. Not too difficult as long as you can judge the amount of spin required, but as you see here I miss it by a tiny amount.
3 targets to go.
Another pillar stands in the way here, forcing you to aim even further to the right. As a result, more side spin as well as some forward spin is required to get the ball heading towards the bullseye, but ultimately this is a tough target to get. Getting desperate now, using the 7 wood with 2 taps of power. I didn't hit the ball quite right as it strays off to the left, but with some side and forward spin you can bring it back onto the bullseye. Ideally, you won't need to go this deep before you get to your 10 bullseyes required. Thank goodness we only need 8 bullseyes here, as we have less targets to aim at. We're going to use a flop shot with the pitching wedge, along with some small backspin to get the ball into the bullseye on this first target. We're going to club down to the L wedge here, but add 3 taps of power to give us enough distance. Add in some small backspin and you should be able to consistently hit this target. The tree constantly gets in the way of this shot and I cannot find a consistent way to hit the bullseye here. I use the G wedge and 3 taps of power with a small bit of backspin. Pull out the A wedge and add in some medium backspin to get the ball to roll back nicely to where it needs to go. A relatively easy target that you should get most times. Almost the same as the previous target, but just using a 9-iron instead. Adding medium backspin here will get the ball to roll nicely onto the bullseye again. Don't be afraid to abort the shot and spin the ball away from the target if it's drifting offline like in my first attempt. It's very easy to hit the ball short on this target. So use an 8-iron with 2 taps of power to get it where it needs to go. A small bit of backspin will ensure it stops where it lands and doesn't go rolling off the bullseye. This was a tough target to figure out initially, but a 6-iron with 2 taps of power will land the ball close to the middle. Add in a bit of spin in whichever direction you need the ball to go and you have a good chance of getting this one. You need to be totally dead straight on this target, as any deviation will likely bounce the ball in an unwanted manner. Be prepared to abort plenty of attempts until you know that you've got the line right. A 5-iron and 1 tap of power is what you need, but as you are seeing it takes me a few goes to get the shot correct. Use backspin to stop the ball where it needs to be.
Aim for the targets, no bonus here. Bullseye.
Again, the trees like to get in the way of this target, so to combat this we're going to club down to the 6-iron but use maximum power on the shot. You will likely need to use some side and back spin just to correct the line of the ball, and a bit of luck here never goes amiss.